Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the video. This is Troy here. Before I start the video, I want to let everybody know that there will be some adult language in the video, so if you're not up for hearing adult language, you can go ahead and go to another video or go to another channel if you don't like the adult language. So most of you know that I live in the state of Florida, where the whole George Zimmerman trial came to an end, and he was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. And I formed my opinions on the case by the facts that were given out in the trial, and as well as the jury did, and they found him not guilty. And so for 15 days now, there has been protesters. They call themselves the Dream Defenders, who have been protesting in the state capitol in Tallahassee. And to this date, it's cost the taxpayers of Florida about $200,000 for security purposes. And they are allowing them to stay in there, and they lock them in the state capitol at nighttime, and that's what's causing even more security. So the first thing is, Rick Scott, I applaud you for not wanting to change or not changing anything to do with the stand your ground law and not allowing any special sessions. But it's time to grow even more balls, and you don't have to put a stop to the protest, because it's their right to protest. It's just that business needs to go on in that Capitol building. And so if you want to limit it like they did for the George Zimmerman trial, that there's a certain area outside or a certain area inside, and then after business hours they have to go outside and then allowed back in during business hours. But something has to happen, because the taxpayers of Florida should not have to pay for this, and Florida as a whole shouldn't have to pay for this. And that's what people like Jessie Jackson are. And Jessie Jackson, get the fuck out of my state of Florida. There's no reason for you to be here, because you incite more hatred, and you incite racism even more when you're here. So get the fuck out of Florida. So Jessie Jackson on Tuesday decided he was going to come and spend time with the Dream Defenders of the Capitol. He's going to spend the night there with them. Just briefly, you can find all this on. He's saying that this whole thing going on with the killing of Trayvon Martin goes back to the civil rights movements to 50 years ago. And he says the stand your ground laws today are similar to the rules 50 years ago, banning African Americans from public using restrooms, water fountains, and beaches. I mean, how idiotic and stupid can you be? He also, and I saw this on the news, they played this part where he said that there's a toxic wind blowing in Florida. The only toxic wind that's blowing in Florida is coming out of Jessie Jackson's mouth. It's just ridiculous for him and others to jump on this bandwagon like Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte is old news. Nobody gives a crap about Harry Belafonte. Let's see, there is another thing. Oh, he also says last year 136 African Americans unarmed were killed in the country by police or by vigilantes or by security guards. The killing has to stop, said Jackson. Well, what you're not saying is out of those 136, how many of them were doing something and justified them being killed by deadly force? I can guarantee you it was almost all of them, and they shouldn't have been doing whatever they were doing. So so let's go on and talk about statistics for other things. He says 36 African Americans, and I know this has been brought up before, but as you can see here, written in the daily KOS.com, this is written June 6, 2013. Since Trayvon Martin was shot, about 480 blacks have been murdered in Chicago. 480. And most of it's black on black crime, and I'll show you the statistics here in a minute. There is where everybody needs to be protesting, and it's absolutely ridiculous and saddening that you're protesting over one person that was killed and found that the person that shot him was found not guilty by a jury of his peers, and people will not let it go. You need to be up there in Chicago and making sure that your people are taken care of up there, because it's saddening to me, as well as a lot of people, that many people, no matter what color their skin are being killed in Chicago. Take your protest where they should be. Now let's look at some statistics here, and this is from the Chicago Police Department for statistics of it says 2011 here, and of course there's a ton of pages. There's 50-some pages, but I just want to go over just a few. Now these are statistics from 2010, I believe it is. Actually 2011. So 433 murders were in the city of Chicago in 2011. 433 alone in Chicago 2011. And let's go down to, let's see, page 12. Oh, and another interesting thing is to see how many were in the streets. This breaks it down, their location. Out of those 433, 296 were either killed in the street and in an automobile or an alley. So that goes to show you what's going on there. And then we will go down to page 12. Okay. And then it goes. This is an interesting one. This shows you how many murders were there for each year, and you can see that. And then when it says total cleared, the cleared means how many actually were solved and the person was arrested and convicted. Look, in 2011, there's 433 murders and only 128 were convicted. So what does that go to show you? What's going on in Chicago? Let's go down to page 33. And then, let's see, and then murder by age group. As you can see, by age group, if you're the age of 17 to 25 and the age 26 to 35 in Chicago, and you're a young black man in those age ranges, you definitely can be in a lot of trouble and could be murdered in Chicago. Let's go down to page 37. And here's murder victims by race. 75.3% murdered in Chicago in 2011 were black or African American. And then, this breaks it down by number, and it shows you. So 2011, there was 433 murders. There was only 20 white people killed, 326 black people, and 82 Hispanics. And then there was 5 others, and you can see the trend. So not only people who are black, African American, or Hispanic. Hispanic people should be in an uproar what's going on in Chicago too as well. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And but there, there's some protest, but nothing like what's going on here in Florida over one person. And then finally, I want to go to one last thing. And then this is the percentage of murders by the offenders who actually did the murdering, and 70.5% were black. So it confirms that it's most of it's black on black crime in Chicago. And the Jessie Jackson and the Dream Defenders need to be doing their protest in Chicago because of just the atrocities that are going on there and the amount of murders that are happening with blacks and also Hispanics. So that's the video. I know it's very long, but I just wanted to prove a point with facts. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.